All right, folks, this is Zirk, and I'm gonna say it, unpopular opinions day. IGN did nothing wrong. Okay, hold on. Let me add a few caveats there. Okay, first off, maybe I haven't played Starfield yet. I will in a few days. You know, it could be the best game ever, and it turns out that this review is a joke. But what's more likely happening here is a case of your opinion's not the same as mine when it comes to media, therefore you're a horrible person, which is absolutely mind-blowingly ridiculous. I enjoy the Street Fighter 2 movie with Van Damme. I love it. I laugh every time I saw it. Like when that truck is crashing in through the thing and Zangief's like, quick, turn off the TV. Dude, I laughed my butt off, all right? Bison has some of the most epic villain lines of all time, but I can acknowledge that it's not going to be a movie that everyone likes. This is how opinions on art work, my man. So here's the latest gotcha attack that I found here. People are talking about this Senjutsu Sage guy is like, oh, look at the clear bias. Well, let's see what he actually said. Revisit the Starfield IGN reviewer Dan Stapleton's opinion of Xbox having Starfield as exclusive. If anybody thought this guy would be honest about this game, I have a bridge to sell you. Someone not liking the fact that something is exclusive doesn't mean that they don't have the ability to be unbiased about the game's quality, or that specifically, you're not even saying unbiased, you're saying that he's a liar. You're saying because he doesn't like that there's an exclusive deal, he would be a liar. That's a big jump, my man. All right, so let's see these examples. Not really something to gloat about. This is an example of a game being taken away from an audience that would otherwise have had access to it, as opposed to one that would only exist because of the first party investment in the platform. Okay, how is that bad? What he just said is objectively true. Spider-Man was announced on the PlayStation as a PlayStation exclusive. You will not find any examples of me saying the industry consolidation is good for gamers, good for first parties, absolutely, but those are not the same thing. Okay, that's just the objective truth. Franchise, individual game. The fact that Starfield was announced without a specific platform means it was not announced as a platform exclusive, as Spider-Man was. That is the objective truth. PlayStation does not own Spider-Man. Microsoft could go to Disney tomorrow and outbid Sony for the next exclusive contract if they wanted. That is the objective truth. I'm sorry, what did he say here that makes him obviously going to be a liar? I'm not seeing it. How would this turn him into an obvious liar? Everything he said is the objective truth. So, like, an example of PlayStation doing it would be Persona 5. Persona 5, not Persona 5 Royal that came out later on. Persona 5 was exclusive to PlayStation, which is an example of PlayStation saying, hey, everybody other than us, nobody else is allowed to play this game. That's what that is. It's not, hey, we're developing an in-house game specifically for this platform with our money. No, this is, hey, accept this bribe to make sure these people can't play it. That's a bad thing for gamers. It may be a good thing for the platforms, but it's a bad thing for gamers, and that's just the objective truth. And him saying that doesn't mean he's a bad person. And it doesn't mean that he's definitely just going to be dishonest. But let's see. I think perhaps this says more about Senjutsu's way of thinking than it does his way of thinking. Because just assuming someone is going to be a liar just because they don't like something that a company did, that's a pretty big leap, my man. Let's see how you feel. Look, another thing. Oh, because he likes God of War? You mean that first party title developed in-house? How is that wrong? God of War would not exist if PlayStation did not make it. What are you talking about? I went ahead and did a little search for his name in Bethesda on Twitter, and look at all these comments. This context alone proves Microsoft is not dishonest. Microsoft was given permission to make Bethesda's future games exclusive to EC. Okay, so this is a pro Microsoft comment, which means, according to him, he's going to be a liar when it comes to anything that would not support Microsoft. That's his way of thinking. This is a result is a misunderstanding which Microsoft cleared up in their response. Microsoft at no stage ever made any comments to do not. So basically him saying, you know, carrying water for Microsoft buying exclusivity for this game. Dude, Horizon and God of War are both delayed games. That makes like 0 sense. Especially if Starfield ends up like one of the very best games this whole gen. Like, what would make you think it has a chance of being that, bro? It's a Bethesda game. They don't make the very best anymore. When you got a hit like Starfield coming from Bethesda, he's just assuming it's already a hit. He's already assuming it's a hit. Having anything to follow is a win. Your bias is showing, my man. 100% of the people hating on Starfield are because it won't be on PS5. Whoa, your bias is showing. That's well before you saw these reviews. Your bias is showing, my man. Your bias is showing. Are you sure about that? Because I wouldn't want to play it on PS5. I don't own a PS5. If I end up hating on Starfield, is that why? Do you think everyone in the world owns a PS5? What are you talking about? There we go, I found it again. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? You think 100% of the people who hate Starfield own a PS5 and don't have a PC or an Xbox? Your bias is showing, my man. That's the way you think. That's the way you think. Not everybody else's. That's not the way everybody else thinks. So let's look at this guy's opinion on PlayStation. Every game that is available to purchase from ZeniMax on PlayStation console before the deal continues to be available to purchase on PlayStation. So he's just like defending Xbox's acquisition. The statement doesn't mean no Xbox exclusives. The statement means defending Xbox exclusives acquisition. The statement makes zero comment regarding all ZeniMax games. I don't even need to read it. You can read it. I guarantee he's defending Xbox's acquisition. As long as Microsoft continues to allow any ZeniMax, he's defending the acquisition probably. Yeah, he's just defending the shit out of Xbox. He's talking about PlayStation, but the only thing he's doing is defending Xbox. Are you going to make a single comment about PlayStation that's about PlayStation alone? One of the best last gen games easily. If it were a PlayStation exclusive, it would have been one of the best reviewed games entirely generated. So yeah, you just assume that everyone's carrying water for PlayStation and everyone hates Xbox. Okay, can you say something good about PlayStation? I'm sure they have to have done something good at some point. Let's just scroll down here. All right, here we go. Your first ever comment about PlayStation. They won't report on you. They won't report on it. They aren't real reporters and certainly don't care about the workers. All they care about is protecting Sony and PlayStation. So right from the beginning, you're claiming everyone just protects PlayStation. And your very next comment is Xbox and PlayStation. How are the people who own a Switch different audience when many Xbox and PlayStation owners who buy and play the games from the studio you currently belong to? And that you used to belong to also own a Switch? I don't think people realize how weak this argument. What is he talking about? It shouldn't be surprising that people who make their personality trait as rabid gaming fanboy don't understand the business side of gaming at all, and why Sony or Microsoft being able to acquire the most dominant IPs is bad for gaming. So yeah, right from the beginning, another example of, yeah, this is what he's doing. He's just defending Xbox. I don't know what this is, but it's about PlayStation and Xbox. I don't know what he's talking about. Microsoft continues to make ZeniMax games available on PlayStation. Yeah, he doesn't have anything good to say about PlayStation. PlayStation is still a hit in machines while Xbox hasn't even started catching up yet. Yep, I knew it. Someone talked shit about Xbox. Fanboys here to defend them. Yeah, so this here is not like some gotcha moment. This guy is just saying something that's objectively the truth, and him saying that he will not be honest because he doesn't like exclusivity deals says a lot about this person in particular. This guy hasn't demonstrated whether or not he's a dishonest person. If he demonstrated that he's a dishonest person, if he has a bias, and then you show this, then yes, then you can make a comment like this. But making a comment like this shows more about your method of thinking more than his method of thinking about things. In fact, I did a little bit of research and pulled something up here. I tried to pull up all the games that this guy's reviewed. So I pulled up some of his past reviews, and I have a few examples here that show that he isn't demonstrating a clear bias that leads him to lying just because he dislikes something else. First off, Half-Life is a PC game, isn't it? He gave that a pretty darn good review. Interesting. It's almost like he probably has a PC to play this game on, and he's not just some PlayStation fanboy. Gears Tactics, he gave this an 8 out of 10. That's an Xbox game. Let's see. Yep, it's reviewed by him. It's a PlayStation and PC only. I mean, it's a PC and Xbox only game. And then if we go to the Metacritic score for it, it's an 8.2 and an 8. He gave it the standard, the industry standard, my man. He's a PlayStation fanboy, isn't he? Shouldn't he be giving PC games and Xbox games bad reviews? Oh man, it's almost like the only person here who's demonstrated a clear bias is this guy. He's the one telling on himself. This guy, he just wrote a review. That's what he thinks about the game. That's what he thinks about the game. And he seems to be pretty tough on games, at least the games he's given. His average review score is 7.7. I mean, it's 77. That's like within the average of what so he gave Starfield within his average of what he reviews games. How is he the liar? He seems like an honest guy to me so far. Whereas this comment right here saying that he's gonna be dishonest because he doesn't like exclusivity deals, that says a lot about you and your ability to be honest. This is a fanboy carrying water for a game and being mad that everyone doesn't just agree with what he says right from the get-go. And he, in one of his comments before, you know, he's saying that Bethesda's freaking Starfield is already a hit game well before it came out. Come on, man. People are just attacking this guy because he doesn't agree with them and not because he said something wrong. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Anyone who's still watching, thank you. I appreciate it. Be sure to hit that thumbs up to counteract those haters who are going to come in and be like, I dislike you for saying IGN isn't wrong in all cases. Because, you know, IGN is wrong most of the time. But this is an example of them being well within the margin of error, bro. I guarantee, best case scenario, this game is like an 8 out of 10. Which, like a 7 or an 8, that's basically the same score. That's basically the same score. There is no way this game's gonna end up being a 10 out of 10. If it's a 10 out of 10, I'm gonna be so happy. I'll dance a jig, okay? I'll dance the jig. I'll be so damn happy. But it won't be. It won't be a return to form for Bethesda, because Bethesda's Bethesda, and they like to Bethesda things. Whatever sense that makes. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. Once again, I'm saying bye for a second time, so have a nice one. Thank you for watching. This is Zirk, and I'm out.